Right, greetings everybody. We are doing a kind of follow-up video to the previous video where I am going to talk about collaborations. Collaborations are always a thing that generates a lot of excitement in the community, and from what we can tell, seems like we're going to be getting a collaboration next week. So I'm going to try and run through in a very short period of time, which is this video. That is what you are watching right now. I'm going to try and run through as many different ideas and possibilities and basically shoot them down or confirm them or think that this is the most likely thing to happen. So let's try and keep this video under 10 minutes and see how many I can talk about. All right, first off, Final Fantasy 1, no chance in hell. Don't think that at this point, we do know that essentially the Wotv devs basically feel pretty bad about Final Fantasy 1. It just never earned that much, so I don't think we're going to be seeing that one. It would also be way too small, and I can't see them adding any more characters, so yeah, probably not happening, and that's fine in my opinion. FF2, no, just not. It's not really the time for that collaboration. Way too small, and I'm just going to say that that's not going to be the one here. Although, there's a possibility that could happen. Final Fantasy 3, same thing as Final Fantasy 2. Just don't think that is going to be the case. Think we're going to see a redo of a collaboration where we focus on older units getting upgraded and maybe one new unit as we wait for the anniversary. 4 and 5, well, first, Final Fantasy 5, 0% chance in hell that it will happen. Same with anything I can imagine to do with Final Fantasy 7 or I'm going to also say Final Fantasy 10-2 and Final Fantasy 10, but that's just me. All right, next up, going back to Final Fantasy 4, it is possible. 4 has been gone for a really, really long time, and it does seem like that category, but I don't know what you add to it at this point. I guess Rydia, maybe a few other things. It's a distinct possibility, but I'm going to say probably unlikely. Final Fantasy 6, this seems one of the more highly likely ones. It's been gone for a while. It's still quite popular in the actual gamer space, and it would probably generate more hype than some of the other titles. So I do think that 6 has a really good chance, also with the weird support for Dagger that seems to be coming in. That just seems to be the hot stuff right now. So 6, yes, I do think that there is a very good distinct chance that we will see 6 back very shortly. And will it add a new character? Probably. There's a lot of characters, and I don't think they're that difficult. And they're pretty unique, so it should be fine. As I said, 7, no. Moving on to 8. 8, sure. Irving would do quite well to come back right now, because I think that this is his time with the amount of gun support that there is. But that's not definitive or anything. Renoa and Squall getting an upgrade would be nice, but I think there's other Final Fantasies that are higher priority, so I'm going to say no. Although Adea, yeah, possibly, and that would generate some buzz. Final Fantasy 9. This is my other Final Fantasy that I think is quite likely to happen. 6 and 9. That's right. Nice. Final Fantasy 9, I think, is very distinctly possible to happen with the impending rumors of a remake or remaster, whatever the hell it just ends up being. There's also a state of play in less than 24 hours in which Square Enix is probably going to have some showing there. I mean, they kind of should at this point, but we'll wait and see. Either way, I think that Final Fantasy 9 has been gone long enough. Definitely all the units could use an upgrade. Still fits that Dagger theory that I kind of had for a little bit. But also Kuja, yeah, sure, why not? Man-thong, let's go. All right, 10, absolutely not. 11, not a chance in hell. I don't think it's a new Final Fantasy time, so no. 12, same reason as 11. 13, tough to say. 13 got like one just as of last year, so I think that puts it pretty far out. I do believe that there is always a chance, but since we got Fang last year, I'm going to say probably no. Moving on. 14. Nope. 14 already had its shot. It shot, and we're moving on. 15. 15 does actually have a pretty good chance. of coming back, but there doesn't seem to be anything going on in the 15 space as much as I feel like 6 or 9 kind of have going for them right now, with the Pixel Master re-release potentially. I think that the re-release of that game on physical copy is supposed to be happening in April, so this would be a good time to promote 6. 15 just doesn't really feel like it has anything. If 15 is going to get re-released, it would be on Switch 2, which would make a lot of sense, along with Remake and Rebirth, putting that, and potentially the 13 series, but that pushes it later, so I'm going to say not 15 probably. And as for 16, 16, I think that if that is going to happen, it would be a half anniversary or an full anniversary collaboration, because that thing's still pretty damn hot and pretty hype, and it's still regarded very, very well. So yeah, but I'm going to say no for this time, especially because it's not a half anniversary, and also I'm banned from pulling fire characters anyway, so fuck it. Moving on, outside collaborations. Now there's a ton of outside collaborations, Dragon Quest, Persona, and so on and so forth, FMA. A lot of these, some of these have a particular problem of needing licensing rights. So, and usually have something to do with an event that is happening with them. Looking at FMA, FMA doesn't really require that much, but I just don't see FMA being the one that's here, because it probably should have just happened in December anyway, like usual, but it didn't, so I don't think that is it. Mark my words if I'm wrong, though. Could very well be. Near 0% chance. Moving on. Next up, Persona. Persona is actually still probably my most likely collaboration to be happening, I think, with Persona. The X coming in the near future makes a lot of sense to redo that collaboration. Also, the Persona characters are woefully underdeveloped compared to a lot of other characters. In here, I just think the timing, the synergy with what's happening and all of that makes a lot of sense. But then again, I don't think that there has been the Persona X announcement yet, and I don't expect Persona 6 to be announced until maybe some kind of Jeff Keighley Doritos flavored event. So moving on. Yeah, Persona is probably my most likely one. And last but not least, Dragon Quest. I don't know, Dragon Quest is weird because the HD one came out last year. We haven't heard anything about HD 1 and 2. I feel like if HD 1 and 2 is generally known when they are targeting that release window, that is probably when they would do another Dragon Quest collaboration. Believe me, it is coming. I just don't think that February of this year, when there is nothing Dragon Quest-y happening yet, State of Play being the one weird extra thing that I have not heard anything about, rumors-wise, for Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy, but, you know, State of Plays could happen. It doesn't seem like it is the right time to do anything Dragon Quest-y, so I'm going to say that that's probably not it. Now, as the outside chance of a new outside collaboration, I guess it's theoretically possible if we look at what FF5, because basically at this point with Wotv, you can generally expect a certain output and workload. If you think about in the past, with things like FMA had, what, 3 characters? Most of the time you see 3 characters, 4 characters on the outside chance. That is quite possible, given that if we saw only 2 from FF5, and given that workload, it could be quite possible that the next collaboration, that there could be a new 2 character or 3 character collaboration. It's definitely not Mana, because Mana is also just too recent. So it's unlikely to, very, very, very unlikely to happen again. And new collaborations such as Kingdom Hearts 4 or anything like, or Kingdom Hearts or anything like that. I mean, that's a lot of legal hoops to jump through that they do have some precedence for because of FFBE, but yeah, there would need to be a trailer dropped very soon for Kingdom Hearts to make me think that it was related to an announcement. So coming back to it, my top, because that was 10 minutes, so pretty close. So now I'll just do my closing. 6, 9 for Final Fantasy re-releases are my most highly probable things to happen. And last but not least, if we are going for an outside collaboration, I am going to say just choose that Persona is still my choice because it's just so far outdated from almost anything and everything else that we have that I feel like it really needs a substantial upgrade. And you know what? It did generate some hype the last time. Although, you know, at this point, what hasn't Persona collaborated with? Doesn't feel as special as it used to be. Anyway, drop your theories and thoughts in the comments below. We probably won't have to wait too terribly long for any kind of actual confirmation. So stay tuned. Hang on to your butts, and maybe I'll do a video about that state of play in some way, shape, or form. Why not? Everybody else is doing React videos nowadays anyway. Later.